from the Fabella team. So we're back for part 3 of Make Me Mayor. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is saving data from like one session to another. So I actually had to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, am I doing this right? So this is what we broke down in order to take a look at that and make it work to where that each time an individual comes into their project and plays the game, that it will continue to tally up the scores instead of just resetting them back to 0. So here we go. By default, all variables are false. So we check if before play is set to true or not. And then the player hasn't played before, so we set up variables here and we set them and set the played before to true. So as you can see in this condition, operator is true, played before is true. And if it's false, it goes into this state where it changes that played before value to true. So the next time they open up the project, it takes them right into the game. Now, if this is their first time playing, then morale is set to 0, wealth is set to 0, population is set to 1, and session is set to 0. Now, so with that being said, what I want to do now is focus on what we are going to do once we get to 3 questions, because if or 10 questions here it looks like. So if the value is set, if the session is greater than or equal to 10, it will say you answered the questions and effectively end the game, right? So what we want to do is we want to kind of expand on that. And as I was looking at this, I was like, wow, this is starting to look kind of jumbled up. I want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do here. So I'm going to attempt to group all of these. So what I'm doing, I'm on a Mac, so I'm hitting Command and then I'm just tapping the nodes. And then I am going to create a group. And then this group will be called, I'm just going to call it Question Bank 1. And that's it. And then it keeps track of the node count. You can actually change the color if you wanted to. So if we wanted to have our first level to be that, and then maybe change the lettering a little bit or whatever, like that looks way ugly. Let me go ahead and just make it something a little bit more palatable. There we go. We'll keep it black. All right. So now I've saved a little bit of workspace by doing that. And then if any time I wanted to see what this is, I could just tap it and then take a look and then actually start editing stuff. But essentially, what I wanted to do was save some space there. So I was able to save some space. And now I want to get to work trying to, oh, I guess it did add that one in there. Huh. Interesting. I was wondering where my condition was at. Okay, so it's set to 10. We know that. So the one thing I want to do now is figure out what we need to do next. So if they answer 10 questions, they effectively end the game, right? So we want to open this up to what I like to call chance. So if you ever played like Monopoly, you know there's community chest and there's chance, right? Well, there's chance in real life too. Towns have chances. You know, they receive money from the federal government. They get a grant from the state, different things like that. So what I wanted to do was actually build something in here that would allow us to get a chance. So we have our random number here, and we have our say node here that says, hey, you answered all these questions. So what that would lead me to believe is every 10 questions it comes down here to the say node, and then it exits. Right? Thanks for playing this round. What we want to do is in here create a variable that if it's matched up with a number would then trigger a chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this, and okay, so we got our here's, we got our condition. I want to take a look at this condition. If session is greater than or equal to 10. So what I'm going to try to do is insert a node. And this is going to be a random number, a random number node. And minimum value is 0. We're going to make it 1. Max number could be, we'll say 6. I think 1 out of 6 is fine. And we're going to connect this up with one of our variables. So if our session data so our modified state okay, and then we go modified state, and also a dice roll as well. We're going to try to use the dice roll in this. Because side dice, blah, 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 how many sides? Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do the dice roll. Variable, I'm going to go with sessions. Okay. And then I just grab this, copy it, and then, well, actually, you know what? And this is what I'm talking about, right? We're doing a lot of this stuff on the fly. I'm not going to have a predefined script or this, that, or the other. We are going to explore these together. So we have our variables here. Name the variable. So sessions. If sessions is equal to this random number, then I want it to pick from chance. So what we're going to do is instead just take this. But let me think here, because if we have this condition that's already set down here, we may just be able to change it. Is not equal to, is less than, or equal to. You know, for me, I'd like to have just a random number. Let me see how I can do this. Because essentially what's going to end up happening is I would have 2 back to back. But what I want to do is I'm going to try to find a way to, within those 10 questions, have a chance. Like I said, like a community chest almost. Okay. We're going to say 3 for this one. Okay. That will move it over to here. They will say this. And then I'll connect this one with this one. So every 3 rolls, you get essentially a community or a chance. Now we have a random number here, and we have a condition. So if sessions is equal to, and what I want to do is I want to see about creating a random number. So if I look at this website that I like, this W3 Schools, and I look at random numbers. Let me see. Get dates. I know there's random numbers around here somewhere. Loop in. I know there's numbers. Numbers. Maybe this is it. Just want to make sure I'm doing this right. String numbers, string events, string methods, number methods. There we go. Hopefully this is it. Oh. Well. Let's see if I just type in random number here and what pops up. Okay, thought that would be more of a search result in there. Oh, JS random. Duh. Okay. All right, so let's go back and put that in there. So if the value of the sessions is equal to the random number, which will be 10, then it will give us a chance, which will be one of these say nodes. You got a grant from the federal government. From the, we'll say National Park Service. National Parks Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Okay. So now, being that that wealth has increased by 100, we need to actually do that. So we will go in here and we'll find our wealth. which we have morale, we have population, but we don't have wealth as a thing. Morale, population, okay. I'm just going to duplicate one of these, drag it down here, and that was Control or Command D. That'll do that for you. And we will put in here wealth, and then 100. I think we could do a plus plus there, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have to make sure that we do this. We have to make sure that we put whatever variable we have into that mix for it to work. Okay, so there we go. So now it'll come down here, and after 3 questions, you answer 3 questions. And then it will say, is sessions equal to math.floormath.random.10, and is that equal to, or condition is equal to random number. And then it should give us the money and then modify the state. And then once it does that, we will have it go back through and where do we want to put this? I think we want to put it right here on the here. Okay, because then we can have it say at the end of this, would you like to continue? Would you like another question? Okay, now what happens if it's not? If that number doesn't match that number, then it should automatically go back to here. Like chance should be chance, right? So let's see if we can get that to work. Oh, no, it won't because it's a random number. Duh. Okay. So now let's verify. Okay, no errors. And let's try this thing out. But first I want to go back here and kind of modify this just to make this like a value of 2 instead of 3. So that way we're not like wasting our time. Okay, verify, no errors. Okay.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. This game will have you answering questions with a simple yes or no response. The goal is to increase the size of your city. Are you ready to begin? Should you enforce the jaywalking policy? Awesome, good job. Would you like another question? Would you like to increase your local taxes? Awesome, good job. Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions.
Okay, so it said you answered 3 questions, which we knew that was going to happen, but the random didn't match up with that, so it kind of bumped us back to the here, right? So what we want to do, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at this. I'm going to drop this down to 1. And then I'm going to drop this down to 1. And then I'm going to play it again. And I'm going to see if it works.
You answered 3 questions.
Ooh, okay. We might have an error there. Okay, let me start this bad boy over. We'll verify it again. Always want to verify.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. Crime is on the rise. Should you put more police officers on the street? Awesome, good job. Would you like another question? The citizens would like to hire another police officer. Awesome, good job. Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
You would think.
You answered 3 questions. answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
Well, I wonder what my actual session is then. Okay, let me see. Oh, sessions. Always make sure your variables match.
You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
Now you would think that if the sessions match, if they're true, it would go over and pick up the random number. Well, variable name is result, so that's not going to work.
You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
Okay, well, I know that's kind of annoying. All right, so let's figure this thing out now. Figure out why we're not getting a chance. We're getting you answered 3 questions, but it's not taking us back to, I think it's got to go back to a say. So if we do this, let's see what happens here. Okay.
You answered 3 questions.
It's like it's stopping, it's giving the condition. Maybe we don't need a random number in here. Session is equal to is equal to is greater than or equal to. Let's try that. See what happens there.
You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
Not working. Okay, so let's get rid of the random number, because maybe that's our problem, right? So sometimes we don't need the random number.
You answered 3 questions. You answered 3 questions.
All right, well, that puts us kind of in a pickle. And I know some people are probably like, well, you know, I know how to do that, but you know, it's this is different. It's a learning experience for everybody. So we have session. Okay. I have session. Nope. I have session over here. Value is 0. Okay. I have session here. Value is +1. And I have session right here, which is +1. Okay. If session is greater than or equal to we're going to try this one more time. I'm going to try to go through the whole thing.
Thank you for playing this experience.
Okay.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
You answered 3 questions.
Oh no, we're stuck in
You answered 3 questions.
we're stuck in an infinite loop. Okay, so what we're going to do now is verify, and then preview again.
Welcome to Make Me
Okay.
Mayor. This game will have you
So
answering
let's,
questions
we know
with a simple
session
yes or no response.
is equal to 0.
The goal is to increase the size of your city.
Yes.
Would you like to put in a new park?
Yes.
Awesome, good job.
Okay.
Would you like another question?
Yes.
Would you like to put in a new park?
Yes.
Awesome, good job. Would you like another question?
Would you like another question? Yes.
Something went wrong.
Okay.
No D, C, 7.
Now look at this. You got a grant from the National Parks Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question? So now we know that it made it all the way over here based off of this. So something happened here. And it might just be the extra thing.
Welcome to Make Me Make. Would you like to increase? Awesome, good job. The citizens would like. Awesome, good job. Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions.
There we go.
You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100.
Did I misspell
Would
service?
you like another question?
There we go. Perfect. So yeah, so there you go. And then if you say yes, the current node is looking for yes, so we should put a here in there. And okay, so the false is that, and that goes down there, and then we're looping that back into yes. So in theory,
You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service.
oh, I think I know
Your
why
wealth has
it's
increased
doing
by
that
100.
now.
Would you like another question?
Because what it's doing is it's equal to or greater to 2, so it's automatically kicking us down into this bottom level, right? So what we need to do is, again, we need to figure out a way to like randomly have a number, and if that random number is equal to that, then it will go down there. So greater than or equal to the number 2, we can keep that. But what we'll do is we'll actually maybe create another variable, or maybe just keep session and have sessions plus 1. Okay. So this happens after the fact. We have our condition here, right? Maybe we just change this variable, because session should keep track of how many questions a person's been asked overall, right? So we'll change this variable to chance, okay? And then the value, we will make it a random number between 1 and 10. So there you go. So a variable chance is greater than or equal to that, and there you go. And then what we'll do is we will use that random number generator again. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. And then we'll use this to see variable name. chance, minimum value, and we're gonna just cut these down to like 3 just to see if it happens, right? Now, in theory, what should happen is we should be able to pull this guy in to here. So let me go ahead and take this off. Okay. See how I can include him in this. Maybe if I, whoop. Open this up. Node count. Got to be a way to add that in there. Add to group. There you go. Question bank 1. Duh. Okay. So now that I have this, I should be able to just grab this line that comes off of yes. I'm just going to grab this and bring it over here. And then bring this one down here. And then verify. Okay. So now, minimum value is 0, maximum value is 3. Okay. Then, condition, if variable chance is equal to random.3, do that. Come down here. So that might be our Willin and Dylan. And then for this one, we should be able to put another random number in there and get that ready to rock and roll too. So let's verify and preview this and see what happens.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. This game will have you answering questions with a simple yes or no response. The goal is to increase the size. Would you like to repair roads in the city? Awesome, good job.
Would you like another question?
Should you enforce the jaywalking policy?
Yes.
Awesome, good job. Would you... You answered 3 questions.
See?
You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100.
There you go.
Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions.
Ooh, okay.
You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100.
So what we want to do...
Would you like another question?
What I'm thinking is that we could even delete this because I don't believe this condition offers anything, right? Because what we need to do now is design another switch and then have another bank of chance questions, right? So we can actually get rid of this. And let me go ahead, I'm going to delete it. And then I'm just going to connect. And then in theory, it should just go right back to yes.
You answered 3 questions.
Oh.
You got a grant from the
Verify.
National Park Service.
Oh.
Your wealth.
Verify, no issues.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. Would you like to put in a new park?
Yep.
Awesome, good job. Should you enforce the jaywalking policy?
Yep.
Awesome, good job. You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service.
Oh.
Your wealth has increased by 100. You answered 3 questions.
Okay, so we are stuck
You
here.
got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question?
So that's something going on in this condition. Yeah, because if I say yes,
You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question?
okay, so we have our say that says, you know, hey, you answered 3 questions. And then it goes to another say, and then it goes to the modified state, and it should wrap back around to this here. But you see what happens. Let me see what happens if I take this one off, plug it right at the beginning of this say. Okay.
You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the You answered 3
Oh,
questions.
you know what? We got to verify.
You got a grant from the National Park Service. Welcome to Make Me Mayor. Should you enforce it? Awesome, good job. Would you like to increase your local taxes? Awesome, good job. Should you enforce the jaywalking policy? Awesome, good job. The citizens would like to hire a
Man, we're getting pretty
awesome,
far
good job.
without
The citizens would like to hire
hitting.
awesome, good job. Would you answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service.
Okay.
Your wealth has increased by 100.
Okay, so here we go.
Would you like another question? You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question?
Oh,
Welcome to Make Me Mayor.
I think
This game will have you answering questions with a... You answered
I
3
think I know what we got to do. We have
You got a
to
grant from the National Park Service.
modify the state
Your wealth
again.
has increased by 100. Would you like another question?
We have to modify the
Welcome to
state
Make Me
again
This game will have you answering questions with a simple yes or no
and
response.
have
The goal
chance
is to increase the size of your city. Are you ready to begin?
and have chance be equal to 0 because it's a chance. Okay, now let's try this. Verify and preview.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. Crime is on the rise. Awesome, good job. Crime is on the rise. Awesome, good job. Crime is on the rise. Awesome, good job. The citizens would like to hire. Awesome, good job.
Okay.
Would you like to increase your local taxes? Awesome, good job. Would you?
It's taken us a while.
You answered 3 questions.
Okay, now we got it.
You got a grant from the National
Okay.
Park Service.
Now chance should be
Your wealth
0,
has increased by 100.
which then should start all the
Would you
way
like
over.
another question? You answered 3 questions.
No!
You
What
got
is
a
going
grant from the
on?
National Park Service. You answered 3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100. Would you like another question?
If chance is equal to, okay. You know what? I think we have to put a minimum in there too. So, okay, so I wanted to just finish up by saying that I figured it out. So now what we want to do, is we want to reset the variable with chance to 0, and we want to exclude that. So it would be math, floor math, random times 3 plus 1, which means that you are excluding 0. So now whenever we play the game, you will see that
Welcome to Make Me Mayor.
you
This
only
game will have
get
you answering questions with a simple yes or no response.
the
The
question
goal
every
is
so
to
often.
increase the size of your city. The citizens would like to hire another.
So they hire a new
Awesome,
police
good
officer.
job.
Would you like
Would
another
you like
question?
another- Should you enforce the jaywalking policy?
Yep.
Awesome, good job. Would you?
Yep, I'll
You
take another
answered
question.
3 questions. You got a grant from the National Park Service. Your wealth has increased by 100.
Now it'll
Would
reset.
you like another question?
Chance is set at 0.
Would you like to put in a new park?
We say yes.
Awesome, good job. You answered 3 questions.
So we can kind of
You
go
got a
back.
grant from the National Park Service.
We can kind of go back and change
wealth
this
has
real
increased
quick
by 100.
from you answered 3
Would you
questions.
like another question?
We'll just call this like chance. Chance question. Or chance. Chance, I don't know, scenario. Community chance. Instead of community chest. Okay. There we go. All right, and now we're going to keep playing.
Would you like to repair rent? Awesome, good job. Would you like to increase? Awesome, good job. Should you enforce the jaywalking? Awesome, good job. You answered 3 questions.
Oh, I never
You got a grant from
verified.
the National
Always
Park Service.
verify.
Your wealth has increased.
Okay.
Welcome to Make Me Mayor. Would you like to? Awesome, good job. Would you like to put in a new park? Awesome, good job. Would you like to increase your local taxes? Awesome, good job. Would you like to repair rent? Awesome, good job. Community chance. You got a grant from the National Park Service.
See, there you go.
Your wealth has
So
increased
now
by
in our
100.
next live stream, we're going
Would
to
you like
build
another
out a
question?
bunch of these community chances, both for positive and negative scenarios, and then we'll move on from there. So with that being said, as always, thank you very much and have a good day.